and good morning as we arrive into the Great Western Station at Paignton in Devon. Now there's also another operator that has a station at Paignton, formerly known as the Totnes Steam Railway. The name of this operator has now, significantly for us today, become the Dartmouth Steam Railway and Riverboat Company. The two stations are alongside each other, and so it's just a short walk over to the steam railway station over this level crossing. And here there's a big queue of potential passengers waiting to buy tickets from the ticket office, but I've bought mine in advance from the website, and so I breeze through to the front and collect my pre-printed ticket from a very helpful young lady. Let's get out on the platform for a look around. Up at the end of the station is a dormant Class 08 shunter, but the main attraction for everybody is 75014 Braveheart, which is a British Rail Standard Class 4 460 steam locomotive which was built in 1951 at Swindon Works. And I think it looks very sharp, resplendent in its all-black BR livery with the red and white piping. And whilst the Class 4 continues coupling and awaits clearance to depart, the little 08 shunter is also fired up. But right now, let's just enjoy the departure of the Class 4 with its train. Now our planned locomotive is this more diminutive Great Western Class 4500 262 tank engine, number 4555. And whilst that scuttles about, let's hear more from this guy on the platform, who's actually more interested in the 08 shunter, I think. As that Class 08 starts to shunt a couple of carriages down towards the platform, here we are in Paignton. And I'm at the Dartmouth Steam Railway, although it's not going to be a total railway day. I kind of got a bit of a taste for doing round robins, and this is another round robin. So we're starting here in Paignton, then we're going to get the steam train down to Kingswear, and then hop across the River Dart to Dartmouth itself, and probably time for a coffee and a cake or something. Before then we catch the Riverboat, which takes me up to Totnes. And finally from Totnes there's a bus all the way back to Paignton. So yeah, it should be all day out on the round robin, and I've got my ticket, bought it online here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This could be quite fun. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Well, there's lots to see while we wait, and the 08 completes its shunting duties alongside the arrival of the morning service from London Paddington. And now the shed door opens to unveil a rather nicely turned out Class 37 diesel electric. And what do you know, I'm about to get some very good news.
Believe it or not, our steam train's broke down. Where's the diesel now?
Excellent. There we go. Well, if heritage is a lot about remembering your childhood, then mine was all about train spotting these beasts in the 1970s. I could not be happier. And here it is, it's 6975, a British Rail Class 37 diesel electric, which was built by English Electric at their Vulcan works in Newton-le-Willows in 1965. Right, let's hop on board. Now, I have an allocated seat in the front coach, but on this ride there'll be no seat review, as frankly, I'm not even going to do any sitting. This coach is a pretty neat standard class open saloon, which has been very lovingly refurbished. But let's leave the seating area behind. We need to be right behind the engine for this one, and yes, we will be leaning out of the window. So what an absolute winner for me anyway. So this steam train has failed, and they've had to put this Class 37 on. So we should get some excellent thrash noise when it really pulls away. Marvellous. And here we go, the first leg will be 10.8 kilometres or 6.7 miles long, and we're scheduled to take 25 minutes. There are no intermediate stops. The mainline railway sidings are the home of this Class 802, which is awaiting its return working to Paddington at 10:55. Very much old meets new as the drivers exchange a wave. Come on now, let's open it up. And we treat the few people out on Goodrington Sands to the sights and the sounds of our wonderful Class 37. That sound was great, but the views aren't half bad either. Churston is the home of the line's turntable and major repair and maintenance facilities. And it also marks the point where the line swings inland towards the River Dart. Once through the tunnel at Greenway, we pop out onto the top of the Greenway Viaduct. And then beyond Noss Creek, the line begins to properly skirt the riverbank as we run down the Dart towards Kingswear, passing the site of the Dartmouth Hire Ferry. And we follow the harbour line into Kingswear, where this first section of the journey will end. Let's stay here for a moment to watch the Class 37 run around. There's no hurry for the ferry, as there's one every 15 minutes, and besides, we'll let all the train passengers here crush onto that first ferry. So that's the first leg done then. Here we are at Kingswear for Dartmouth. And yeah, great views across the River Dart, so let's get over to Dartmouth and get a coffee and cake. But wait, Class 37, did you hear that thrash? Absolutely marvellous. Apologies to all the steam fans watching, but that was better, wasn't it really? The station at Kingswear has been beautifully restored in what I would call fawn and cream. And there goes that first rather full ferry. But its sister will be along in no time. And it's time to board. The round robin covers all the legs, including this one. If you were just to pay, then the single fare is £2. And then when we get up top, we get a quick glimpse of the Kingswear Castle paddle steamer on one of its runs. The lower vehicle ferry is made up of a pontoon which forms the ferry platform, whilst the motive power is supplied by a tug, which is connected to the pontoon by just its bow, where it pivots in order to change direction. Officers have been trained at Dartmouth since 1863, but this building dates from 1905. Incidentally, Sir Aston Webb also designed the facade of Buckingham Palace. The first thing to see is the old railway station. Dartmouth is quite unique in having a station but no railway. Back in the day, you would be able to buy through tickets to many UK destinations from this very station, which of course included the ferry hop to Kingswear. Dartmouth is a lovely place to relax with a coffee, so I chose a takeaway, then I could sit by the river and watch the trains across the water. As Dartmouth has always been an important naval and trading port, the approaches have always been well defended. Bayard's Cove is one of my favourite places as it's always a lot less busy than in the main town. And the 16th century fort is always worth a visit. And both the cove and the fort give you a view of the 14th century Dartmouth Castle, which stands at the entrance to the estuary. No time for that for us today. Well, this view is lovely, but I have a riverboat to catch, so we can go upstream to Totnes. Today we'll be riding the Cardiff Castle, which was built back in 1964 and has room for fully 400 passengers. I'll take this raised seat here. It's a bit higher and it looks a bit more comfortable than those plastic ones. The Dart estuary is impressively wide here, and I wouldn't want to start counting the number of moorings, but I'm sure it stretches into the thousands. And soon we're passing Noss Creek and the railway line where we were but an hour ago. And this boathouse marks Agatha Christie's old summer home, the Greenway Estate, which nestles in the trees above. And beyond Greenway, the river widens out once again. It's a very warm day in Devon today, but it's definitely slightly cooler out here on the water. Up the creek lies the large village of Stoke Gabriel, which also marks the halfway point in our ride to Totnes. Incidentally, the lower deck of the boat does include a cafe bar and also some toilets, and the toilets are certainly essential as this journey is timed to take around 1 hour and 15 minutes. But do be aware that the cafe bar only takes cash due to the lack of signal for many portions of this journey. Sharpham House sits atop a rise on the western bank, and as we pass we get a very good view of the estate's old bathing house, which is now a holiday cottage. This last little section towards Totnes is very much less developed, and it's quite a delight. The bench at the end of the walk highlights we are now approaching the riverside town of Totnes. And soon we're coming alongside the steamer quay, our journey's end, at least for now.
Yeah, they don't do things by halves, Americans.
I know. Here at Totnes, the Riverboat company has some useful sales offices, and there are also extensive car parks for all those potential customers. There's also toilets and what looks to be a very pleasant riverside path. Well, that was a very nice little ride up on the riverboat. Lots to see, and sometimes not much to see, just chugging along, and it was really quite lovely. Yeah, highly recommend that one. That was really, really pleasant. Just come down here to the waterfront at Totnes to really just wave goodbye to the boat as it chugs on back down to Dartmouth. So we'll get a little view of that, and then it's probably time to go and get some more food, but most importantly, get a beer. So I had a little plan for food and drink. Rather than go into the main town, I thought, why not skirt around the edge and visit the main line station of Totnes? You see, I've passed through Totnes many times and I've always been rather impressed that the old signal box is now a cafe, and that kind of location seems an ideal place to go on a channel such as this. However, there is disappointment at the station. The cafe is closed. Nice building though, isn't it? Okay, there's nothing for it but to have a mooch through the main and the back streets of Totnes and see what there is to be had. These narrow streets or alleys really are a great feature of the town, and you never know, sometimes there's a pub at the end of one of them. That beer I had in Totnes was probably the worst beer I've had for quite some time, so I've actually gone so far downhill that the second beer of the day is a can from Morrison's, and it's not even been in the fridge, although because it's air conditioned in Morrison's today it actually does feel quite cool. So cheers, and get the bus in 20 minutes. Well, I'm not that far from the bus stop over there, and judging by the looks of it, an open top bus just pulled up and we're due to depart in 11 minutes, so it might be our bus. Open top, yeah. And indeed it was our bus. As far as I can tell, the only passengers on the bus will be round robin ticket holders. I don't think the company offers any tickets for just the bus ride. Right, this seat will do. I'm quite a fan of open-top buses. It really is something special to be up here amongst the trees with the wind blowing through your hair. There's an hourly service in each direction during the day, and with a journey time of between 20 and 25 minutes, a single bus can operate the service. To get across to Paignton, we must drive up and over the hill. Not a bad view from up here, is it? I'm really enjoying this. What a great way it is to end the day's rides with the fresh air and more lovely views. Of course, it's only a short hop, and Paignton really is a pretty big conurbation, so we are soon in the town's outer reaches. And then there's one final squeeze to get into the town centre, and then the bus station. And that's that. We're back at the bus station, which is handily right next door to the railway stations. And that's it, full cycle. I'm back at Paignton railway station here, waiting for an incoming train. It could be that class 37. Reflections on the day? Well, it went a lot better than I could have possibly expected. Firstly, no steam train, class 37, absolutely amazing. Loved that, brilliant. Sorry for all you steam fans, bit of a disappointment, but there we go. And then the riverboat ride, the views, amazing, do it, it's really great. And then I was kind of thinking, when I got to Totnes, well, maybe I've made a mistake here, because my round robin from kind of Exeter is to get to Totnes and then go straight home. But in fact, that open top bus ride wasn't that fantastic. Really enjoyed that. That was a little bonus at the end of the day. And over here, the main station at Paignton is there. A train every half an hour, so I can just decide whether or not I want to go and get an ice cream down on Paignton seafront. Probably do. And then I'll make my way back home. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I certainly have. And if you have, then do give it a like, and also consider subscribing to the channel for more silly things like this, probably. Anyway, in the meantime, with my beautiful friend here, this lovely Class 08, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, and goodbye from Paignton railway station. And for one last time, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single person that watches any video at all. Couldn't do it without you. Well, actually, I could do it without you. It just, you know, wouldn't be as much fun somehow, would it? You know what, I really love 08 shunters. I think they're just great. I don't know why. It's the shape, it's the sound. Not really sure. I love 08 shunters.